going live here in a second.
Oh,
I have a meeting at 11, so I got to get
oh
that done.
yeah, yeah. Got to get on it.
I think it's live. Should be.
I think we're almost live. Whoa. Oh man, congratulations getting your certificate and being, oh my God, high level guy. I
What?
I I was thinking uh intelligence. I You have made it to one more big step in your career.
I did something.
Yeah. You've been doing something for years. One
Yeah,
thing
I
after another.
guess the whole thing was like stay motivated. I didn't know all these coaches tell you to do one thing, and I was like, well, I'm just going to keep going until the one thing happens because this coach does this thing, this coach does this thing. Well, I'll just learn it and figure out what works. I don't know. Just keep going, I guess.
No, that's where, persistence. You just keep on with your persistence and you just go, 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 and go, go, go. And a lot of people give up before they get anywhere. You know, they, they're not willing to put the work in what it takes to get where you want to go. And you've been doing it each and every day, and it shows. Now you got your uh, now you got some clients coming up on that, and you've got. I'm just proud of you, man. Woohoo!
Well, I don't know what direction to go. So I just watched a ton of videos yesterday, and today I woke up and I was like, let's try this. So at least it keeps me moving. So, um, so many things happened when I was in Virginia. Like I didn't realize I had taken all these other classes, and then me and this other guy wanted to put a project together, and well, he didn't know how to do what I was doing. So he's like, I want to do this, right? I can't talk too much about the project because it's going to be revealed at a certain time. But anyway, it has to do with video creation. And it was like, well, I don't know how to do this or do that. But I know how to do the music, right? It's like, all I have is an idea. Like I did actually, come to think of it, um, I did everything except for pick the soundtrack. So there was a monologue, right? And then there was video, and then there was like sound effects. It was all this different stuff. And like I created it all with AI. But when you create things with AI, it's not like you just, wave a magic wand and it freaking happens. No, there's like a process to it. But I already knew how to do it because I've been working on it for so long. And this guy, amazing talent, but hadn't taken any of the classes that what I did to create stuff. Like the guy's a video editor, he's an audio editor, he's a DJ, you know, but I knew how to make something out of nothing, like video, create video out of just text. And he's like, wow, that looks so great. And then you could take it and then, of course he could video edit it or whatever. So I did as we were doing the project, there was like some challenges. Like, how do you make a video where my mouth is talking to the words? And I had forgotten because I put it down for like 2 months. So I went to sleep and then came up, I woke up the next day and I was like, this is how you do it. So it's hard to explain like how complicated, like if you don't know how to do what I did, like it took us um 7 hours to come up with 1 minute of material. And that was me knowing what to do. And then the second minute, because we did 2 minutes and 20 seconds of a project. The second minute probably took 1 or 2 hours. And that's something people don't understand when using AI to begin with. So when you're starting a project, and if you don't have like a clear vision of what you want to do, you're kind of like playing around until you come up with something. And then once you come up with something, you go down that avenue, right? Like, oh, I don't know. Let's try this. I don't know. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, well, I know I could do something cool. And then you start to formulate this like idea. And then as you get the idea, it's like, okay, now that we got this, how do we do this, right? Once we come up with an image, how do we make it move? Right? You got to come up with the image first, or you just don't go. And there's so many different things. Like if you didn't take the classes, you just wouldn't have known to begin with, right? Because you don't take text and then go straight to movie when it comes to AI, right? You go text to image, come up with an image that you like, and then that'll give the movie something to work with, right? The movie AI. Well, then now that we got a movie, it's like, well, okay, how do I get my mouth to move? Now that I'm in the scene, because not every scene needs your mouth to move. So I would, and then like there's another AI where you just hit a button and you talk to your computer, and then it, and then, and then it makes that, because every time you do a render, it's not like it does it all at once. And like, anyway, like I was saying, the first minute took like 7 hours or so, but it was something that was so exciting that it didn't really matter. And that's kind of like how my whole life has been. With anything that was worth doing would take time, or you get excited. Like when, as a DJ, we had all this music on tapes or records, or and then a new technology would come out and be like, okay, now I need it all on CDs. So you'd go out and buy this thing to make whatever into CDs, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, I've got, I don't know, thousands of tapes. Well, we're gonna have to get them on these CDs somehow. So we would stay up, as a kid, or whenever new technology would come out. I remember the sun coming up, going, "Oh yeah, I'm still working on it," and that's what it was like, um, doing this project with the new technology. It was like revisiting teenage years.
Well, it
But
seems
again,
like
the
what
thing
you're
that made
saying.
somebody worth a damn was that you would do something like that. That's what I don't like about how technology has ruined DJing. Like everybody thinks that they can just get a hard drive and now they're a freaking DJ. Where it was like, now we've got this new challenge, we got this new thing somebody doesn't know how to do, but you know how to do it because you took the classes, and now in order to create this amazing thing, you have to put the work in. And I don't even care if anybody ever freaking watches it, but it was amazing to create. like,
Wow. That is so right, because each step of your career, it was like that, because just like the going from CDs to digital, and each thing to get to the next thing, now digital to AI, and now AI digital and all that. It just, technology just goes and goes and goes. And can you remember? I don't know if you can remember, and I don't know if I could remember either. They used to have car phones, these big old huge phones in a car. Okay. And now we have a computer. We walk around with a computer that's bigger than my first huge computer. My first huge computer that cost thousands of dollars. I only had 4 gigabytes of memory in. I think this has got 512 uh a
just in RAM,
terabyte. No, yeah, five
or
and 12.
512 hard drive, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is my big computer, when my first big computer, and it was like $2,000 in the, you know, 80s. It only had 4 gigabytes. So look how far we've come. And same with all the DJ stuff. Now, now you've jumped over that hoop, and you've learned for the last years. And when AI came on, you just started learning, and you've been working with it so long. Like your friend hasn't. So he knows the other stuff. But that's when it's good, is when you, with your knowledge, can come help everyone else who hasn't got that knowledge yet. That's why your company's going to do well. You can help those big guys sell their boats and everything else.
Yeah. So yeah, so anyway, yesterday I was just like, you know, I always write things down on my list of things to do, because the DJ company's always got something to do. Like, creating websites always got something to do. Like there's normally like at least 10 things. But since I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, like I had done everything on the list to do. Like I had answered all my emails, answered all my questions. Like I don't know if AI is just making me faster with how I have everything set up, or like I don't know what's going on. Anyway, it was like, well, what's the next step? What do we do next? I have this time. I'm home. Like I was so much time. I've cleaned the pool, like I've cleaned the house, like my brain was like, get away from the computer, you've done everything. And then it was like, okay, I have all these educational videos. And I bought another AI class. I bought Dean Graziosi's and Tony Robbins class. So I started going through that. And then it was like, well, my last whole Go High Level, I hadn't watched all those presenters. So I started watching that. And then I woke up this morning and it was like, I'm going to create a school group. Like I don't know if anybody will ever go to it or whatever, but it's just the next project I'm working on because I've done everything else. Like what to do next? I don't know. Create a website, done that, like my DJ company like had some SEO glitches on it. Like I used AI to figure that out. There was like a lot of things like I probably would have to hire someone to do, and I had AI figure it out for me. And then as it started doing that, it started coming up with more complicated projects. I finished all those. I'm like, oh, what do I want to do next? I don't know. like like the biggest distraction was like the phone would ring for the DJ company. It must have rang like 10 times yesterday, but I didn't have to answer it because I pay the wife to answer the phone. And I'm just sitting there, sitting on the couch watching educational videos. Like it was great, but still going like, I don't know what to do next. The goal now is to get enough money, passive income from the other business to afford a Cybertruck or another vehicle, or maybe pay off the video wall, which is I've already paid off a bunch of that. So I don't know what to do after that happens. Like I
Now
don't know
what you
what
do is you get a underbie who's you, and then you keep going. You get somebody like you to run your DJ company.
yeah, I guess that's the biggest challenge. I wish AI could find somebody to give a damn.
Well,
Maybe I haven't had that training yet. I don't know.
right now, I could give you a list of things that you really need to know before you hire. I mean, and so the thing I find a lot of times when people hire somebody and they don't trust them and they're not worthy or something, they can just undermine your company. And that my brother had that happen to his company too. He put he gave charge to somebody else to become the vice president, and then he left for a bit, and that vice president took his company. It's like, oh, so it is hard to find the people you can trust. So I don't have the answer there, but the AI might. That's what I was saying is, what are all the qualifications for someone like that? But you also,
Yeah,
right now, you
I'm
have an
sure there's.
assistant. Your AI is your assistant right now.
Yeah, well, AI can't go out and set up video walls.
That's true.
Not
Is a
yet,
video?
unless Elon starts releasing robots or something.
Yeah, that's true. What about what kind of vehicle does it take to put up that wall? Do you have to have a special truck to carry it, or does it
So that kind
unpack?
of that kind of depends on the order, right? So a road case is probably like 3 or 4 feet off the ground, and probably it's a rectangle, so about 6 feet wide, something like that. So if they ordered a wall that wasn't the whole entire wall, like half the wall, yeah, I could probably get by with the cars that I have now. Um, an entire order would need a box truck
Okay.
or multiple crew with vans to get it there. Like I don't even know how it's going to come off the boat to Orlando. I guess it's going to dock in Tampa and then make its way to Orlando. And then it's going to go to my home address. So I'll have a little choo-choo train of these large road cases. And then we just recently got a storage unit. And then what's today? Wednesday? Tomorrow we're gonna go visit that. But the thing doesn't make it to Tampa until May 12th. So we went ahead and got the storage unit now. It was on scarcity, right? This is the last one we have. So we're going to pay a month or two with it being empty, but it's better to have it next to the house and pay the extra 2 months than God knows how far you'd have to go get it every time you had a show. So yeah, that's where it's at.
Well, can you put some of your other equipment in there right now?
We're going to go see it tomorrow.
Okay. Well, good.
So there's that.
This is what progress looks like.
Yeah. But it was like, I'd rather be a digital marketer and I'd like to double down on that. But at the same time, all my coaches say, whatever's giving you money, double down on that. because people give me money to do events. I'm not going to shy away from it because that's what people are doing. Whether or not, and if I was going to keep doing it, it would have to be something challenging or something bearable or something different. I just wanted to keep doing things differently. Like, oh, another event where I'm DJing. Um, yeah, that I've been doing that 30 years, but it's like, well, what else? What else can I do? What are the okay? So another coach that I have. In order in order to get to the next level, you have to take big swings, right? So it's gonna suck training your crew. Like you spend a bunch of money and you get something where you can charge like a higher ticket price for, like a video wall. DJs go out, I don't know, $1,500, $2,000. Video wall, 5,000, 7,000, $8,000 every time it goes out. So it's kind of like you got to spend $20,000, and if I can get that every time it goes out, it's paid for itself in two or three times, four times, something like that. But it was like uh, I can only do the same type of events, or even if the events got crazy or whatever. Like I've done it over 30 years. Like, what's a new challenge? I think what's something else, So I decided to get a video wall versus doubling down on oh, look at how great of a DJ I am, or get the next event, you know. I mean, those events are going to come with a video wall anyway, and I can give it to, people that I trust that are younger and more excited to do those gigs. That's how I looked at that. But, the whole digital marketing thing, you could do that anywhere. You could be setting up a video wall. Hey guys, that goes over there. Let me go fix this CRM for, the guy that sells boats. You just need internet. I could go on a beach and the waves could be crashing. And I'll be like, okay, on a boat. I could be on a boat fixing it. I don't know. Like, that gives you the freedom. Otherwise, you're just stuck at the house or stuck in Orlando. I could do it anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's
What
really
would
where the
you,
future is going anyway, right?
right? What would your advice to somebody to find a coach? I know that's a little offhand, but basically, I think every time we talk for the last 4 or 5 years, or a good amount of times, you do mention your coaches, because you've had so many coaches, you've learned from so many people. What would your advice to somebody who is just going out to seek a coach that they could, whatever it could be in? What's some advice
Well,
to find a
when I
coach?
got Billie Jean, I was completely moved by his mindset. And then and I dug in, and then I spent a bunch of money, and then I, later found out that like it wasn't what I thought it was. So anyway, I mean, the mindset actually got me, up and moving, and that was great. And then I did spend a lot of money with another coach. I spent like $10,000 and got zero because I was all excited and I was in the moment and I was going to this ClickFunnels hacking or whatever, and I was like, oh, this guy can help you out. And when I got his class, it kind of sucked. So, but I wasn't moved by that guy, and that was the guy I got the least amount from. It was just like, oh, I'm here, and I was moved by the movement, right? And then I was like, oh, Russell's on stage, who is the top guy, but this is one of Russell's, people on stage and teaching this stuff. I'll go with him. But I didn't like dig into what he was saying before I purchased it, kind of thing. So, but that was like I was on the I was being caught by the momentum of Billie Jean, right? So, um, and then there was like the whole hypnotist NLP coaches were so important to help change the mindset. It was like, here are the tools to build your mindset, and here's Billie Jean telling you how to use it, right? So, and whether or not those people would have to move you, but it all depends on where you're at. And every coach has like some sort of thing to teach you. Even the guy that I spent $10,000 with and didn't get anywhere, I learned that be moved before you buy anything, which saved me down the line because just recently Billie Jean tried to sell me, and I didn't buy because I wasn't moved, or they couldn't handle my objections. And then there was I don't know, the coach I have now, right? Like I ended up it was such a low buy-in, but he said all these different things, and he's a presenter at Go High Level. So I was like, well, for $100, I mean, I'll try it out for a couple months and see if it actually, moves the needle. And I could talk to this guy directly. And well, on Mondays is when he does his calls. So and he does, I don't know, he's like, oh yeah, I can build up $10,000 companies all the time. Not to say that I can, we don't promise anything, but I have done it a bunch. And then you can talk to me, and then here's all my videos on how I did it. And I'm actually going to use that on Monday with the $300,000 guy and see how that goes. And if it works, I mean, I'll be forever. But the best thing, right? I guess find somebody who's further along where you want to be, or at least believe that you're further along where you want to be, and then believe that that person can do it, and then probably look for some proof. Like Billie Jean, I got all these people, that are following me. So how could it be wrong, right? Like, and he couldn't be up there if he, wasn't any good. We have a few in the hypnosis world. We're like, well, man, that guy's a douche, but he's got a lot of people following him, so I'm just gonna leave him alone. Like, so there's like that too. Um, because a lot of people, or some people, the ones that hurt the most are the ones that sell themselves as one thing, but their actions do another thing, and they themselves don't even see the contradiction. That's something you'll just have to learn as you deal with people, I guess. But just depends on how much work you're willing to do, or if you're willing to get past your own mental blocks. Um, and if you don't spend any money on a coach, then you're not going to move anything to get anything done. Like, that's just the law of how it works. You know, Even Frank Kern was great. He taught me about copy and how important it was. I went to San Diego to go see that guy. So yeah, I don't know. Best thing, does it move you? Do they have results? Proven results, or how long have they been in it? I mean, even somebody who hasn't been in it too long could have like a low buy-in. And if you get results, the price goes up, and they need you to to say that they can't that they're worth something. So
Well,
yeah.
with some of that said, would you say which it sounded like all the classes you took, you learned something from. So each one gave you a little bit more knowledge. It's building a block, building blocks to get wherever you need to go. Uh, so it sounds truly everyone, even if you spent more on this one or more on that one or more on that one, it was a learning curve that brought you to where you're at now. So what would your advice for somebody? Would you say the hypnosis helped more for a beginning of what you were doing, or would you
So
say so?
the
The
biggest thing is
mindset.
that if you can't generate money, right?
Uh-huh.
If you can't make a sale, you're dead on the water. So if you already have that down, then you need something to sell, maybe. So like the hypnosis and the language pattern. Like, number one, work on yourself, build up your confidence. Number two, understand how psychology works so that you can sell. um I and then, what are you selling? Like, I was just really good at DJing, so I didn't worry about that part. Like, I know I can sell DJs, and my resume is like a mile long. like, so yeah, I guess build up your confidence, have something to sell, and then be able to, sell. And then, of course, you have to deliver. But um, if you don't generate money, then you can't generate the rest of it, or you'll just be working for somebody else. So whatever coach that can help you, and then that's just building up your confidence, and then learning language patterns, and then having your systems in place to collect money, right? Like, so you could be like, oh yeah, great, and I'll get back to you, or I'll send you something in the mail. And like, no, here's the link, put your card in. Like, case in point, here's a story for you. I got a call on Friday, and the guy was like, I'm gonna have a K-pop Demon Hunter event, and it's tomorrow. Do you have any DJs that can show up 8 o'clock or 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. and the place is 2 hours away from Orlando, two and a half, I forget. Um, so I went through all the questions. The guy tells me that the DJ he has COVID or something. Looking back at it now, everything as shaky as it was makes completely sense. But anyway, I went, called people, got the I got the DJs, right, and the guy collects all different types of music. He's like, yeah, I can do K-pop all day, all night. Like, I just collect everything. Sure, and he's available. All right. And well, I'm not available for all of it. I'm available for most of it, and I'm gonna have my sister go down there and help me out, and then I'll just take off when I got to, but I'll leave her up and running, right? I'm like, okay, well, with less than 24 hours notice, this is gonna have to do. Like call the guy back and say, hey, I got it. And then he starts giving me we've had problems with venues, so our credit cards are a little weird. Okay.
Ouch. Okay.
Okay, all right, sure, got it. Well, we take Zelle, we take all these different things, right? All that stuff's already set up. So and then I send them the email. And then, of course, this whole time I'm telling him, all of the calls are recorded, right? All my calls are recorded, just so you know. Like, so he calls me back and says, "Oh, what time are they going to be there?" Well, they're not going to be there until you sign the contract. Well, what do you mean? I didn't get it. Well, I'll send it to you again because I get a little alert when you sign this contract, So eventually he signs the contract and then starts asking me again about how to make payment. I'm like, well, the emails just walk you through it, right? He's like, okay, well, I want to do an ACH. Okay, well, I'll send you my banking information sent, right? How fast can you be? How efficient are you? How well do you have your stuff put together? Sent. Next morning comes along, my DJs, because it was 2 hours and they had a gig the night before, bought a hotel room so that they could be there on time, and they slept at the hotel room 10 minutes down the road. So even if this guy doesn't pay, I'm paying for that hotel room because they went out for me. Which side story, I gave them both $300, and then I said if the guy doesn't pay, you guys walk and keep the 300. They were okay with that. Because it was so last minute, right? And they had to make decisions. They made decisions, and that's going to cost me if I called them to begin with. Anyway, they get there, and the guy starts, oh, I'll give you $100 for gas and this, that, and the other thing. So I text the guy. I'm like, hey, man, are you going to honor our agreement? Another hour goes by. He calls me up and starts asking about like where the PayPal link is. He does say he wants to honor the agreement. Again, how efficient are you? Like you already have this stuff. I got to come up with it again. like on the phone. He wasn't even talking to me at this point because I just had my assistant answer the phone. He would call back 3 or 4 times in the morning. And then I sent over the QR code for him to pay. And I'm like, well, they're not taking any gear out of the car until I have a full payment of whatever this is. So he paid, and I text the crew, and then it turned into them not DJing. It turned into them being an MC for this sold out K-pop show. These two guys went into this room, and there's a DJ, which I don't know what happened. I guess he doesn't have COVID anymore. There's a lighting tech, and there's a sound engineer. Three different vendors, and I guess there's some sort of caterer, and there's somebody selling goods and like K-pop, and foam sticks and whatever, T-shirts and foam sticks. I don't know what they call that, swag or something. So anyway, my team walks in there and they start talking to all these people. My team's the only one that got paid. So if you don't know how to generate money, or then you're dead in the water, and you'll be, subject to whatever, this guy was. Because at the beginning of the morning, my team's telling me, oh, this guy is so nice. Yeah, he's nice because he's looking for a sucker. And they figure that out by the end of the event. By the only ones getting paid was them. And then of course the guy goes to the DJs and was like, hey, this has been great. You guys rocked it out. So thank you for helping me out last minute. Is there any way we can cut Scott out? What? The only guy that made sure that you got paid? You think they're gonna just leave me? So anyway, again, I couldn't have done any of that without the last 6 years of training I've had. And it came from all those coaches. Spend $10,000 for a coach, but you gain it all back by being able to create a life that you can live. What is the price of knowledge?
Yeah. Anthony, what is it? Tony Robbins, or what says, that's what you got, your knowledge. Nobody can take your knowledge
I
away.
don't know who says that, who coined that. I heard it so many different times.
Yeah. Whoever, but still, the knowledge you gain and nobody can take away from you. So, um,
I mean, I
I'm,
could go on these stories forever. Like I had another one recently where I was talking to a guy. He tells me all this information. I write it all down. and calls are recorded, and this person knows. He called me multiple times. I'm like, hey man, they actually talked about our service on one of these calls. Oh yeah, which service are you using, right? Like, so anyway, we have this call. He's like, I got X, Y, and Z happen on this date. I read it all down, and then they have their own system, right? I got a couple alert emails, but I never check their system. I usually just go by the person's word, and then all the information he told me on that recorded call was wrong. I'm like, did you? And then I'm talking to the guy. I'm like, this is how much you said it would pay, and this is where you said it was. All this information on a recorded call. Here, you can have it. Listen to it. Like, did you have the right event in front of you? So,
So it sounds like you would suggest if you're in business, it might be a good idea to get a recording line.
yeah.
Then you have a backup every time somebody kind of kind of either tries to dink on you by telling you wrong information. No, you said, I said, you said, you said, no, I said. But when you have a recording, then you have a real backup, that professional backup, instead of somebody, I said, you said
Yeah.
this. No, I said this. No, you said this, and I said that. So, uh, is that kind of system, is that relatively expensive or?
So, so the system I have is called Nextivia. I don't even know how much it costs, like 20, maybe 20, $30 more at most. But Go High Level has it like as part of their subscription. Like I got it before I even knew what Go High Level was, and I didn't feel like changing it over. So it's just there. Go High Level, it's just wrapped. It's like a part of what they offer. Like it's zero. Like if you have Go High Level, I'm not zero, but like it's just one of many things that it comes with it.
Well, we know it saved you several times.
Many times, yeah. It's probably even cooler in Go High Level because you could go to somebody's contact card and look at, your whole history with this person. But with Nextivity, I have to go in and type the phone number in for it all to populate, but like whatever. Like
Yeah, definitely. Those bait and switchers.
yeah, you
They're
can't deny what you said in your voice. I mean, like, it's pretty obvious. Like this is what you said.
I just think that's another great tool to have. That I mean, and I think this shows, all the tools you're using in your business is getting you each step another step higher. A lot of people say you got to spend money to make money, and I believe that's true. It depends on where you're spending your money, and you want to check that out, but find the things that work for you. Like, without a doubt, this tool that you're using is really worth its weight
Yeah.
in gold.
One of my DJs, they called me up the next morning. One of the guys that got paid, that did the K-pop thing. They're like, I don't know what kind of mojo you're using, but I gotta learn what that is. It's called keeping people honest. I'm like, golly. And that's another thing. I think people really overlook language patterns. Like, I don't I don't think people, for the most part, really understand how to position themselves in a conversation. I don't like I don't think they've outlined, or future pace. I don't think they future pace enough to understand what to say in the present. I'm really good at future pacing. I've noticed. Like I didn't even know that's what they called it, or my one of my skills is like it's kind of like if you were playing chess and then you wanted to like predict the next 10 moves. Or if I did this move, how does that position me or does that leave parts vulnerable? For whatever reason, I think, and I've thought about this for a while, it was like, why am I good at this? Or why do I think like this? I think
Also,
it
you're
has something,
doing troubleshooting.
yeah,
Okay,
I
so
think it has
you're
something to do with
also
my mom being
future
the gaming
pacing
cat.
and troubleshooting at the same time. It's like you already know. Okay, just like the example you gave about the guy who won the K-pop. I guess it's K-pop, and he wanted. He was kind of messing around everybody else, but you weren't going to take that. He said, if you want my guys, you're going to sign a contract. You haven't signed that contract yet, but you already know when they don't sign the contract, there's a big red flag going saying, I won't do anything without the contract.
Yeah.
Then you got there, and then you wouldn't do anything without being paid
He
because he
also
said
said
he
he
was
wanted
going
to
to
do
pay.
ACH, and I was like, "Well, be careful with that. It's Saturday. It's the weekend. They're not stepping out of their car unless it's cleared my account. ACH is like a bank transfer, but normally
Mhm.
better on business days. So I was like, "Hey, man, you can do ACH, but if it hasn't cleared by the time they get there, they ain't coming out of the car." So he's
And
yeah.
and that's the same thing. I've been to an event or several events, but I get paid because I've already done all the legwork. But you'll get to a gig, or I've been to gigs where they've hired two or three entertainers, but they never have canceled the guys that did. So there's three entertainers there, but the one with the contract's going to keep the money. You know, if there's no contract and nobody signed a contract, the other two doesn't get paid, and the one with the contract does. Just like you had right there. So that's why contracts are so important to have because they're going to back you up. Years and years ago, I lost a an agent or a friend of both, agent and friend, because I had an event where I just got out of college and I knew to have contracts, and they signed a contract for 2 days as me for an entertainer, 4 hours a day, but they found somebody cheaper on the second, trying to hire somebody cheaper than I was. Well, I just got a scholarship, wanted, and I was a big shot, and or my head was big at least, and it didn't matter. They had to pay, and but they wanted to find somebody cheaper, and they found somebody cheaper the second day. But when uh, I said that's fine, I don't have to go work it, but you're still going to pay it because you're canceling on me. That's a pay or play contract. So fine, you still have to pay me even if you cancel me. And what they did is canceled the other person that they were going to have replace me. And the agent got really mad, saying, "Well, I'd never do that for to you." I said, "Yes, you would. I didn't
That's
do
what he
anything."
was doing.
That's what he was doing to me.
That's what he
He,
was
he
doing
was
in that
he was
situation.
exactly. He was going to take my gig and bill me out because he was cheaper. Anyway, that's why you have contracts because that's a real thing that did happen. And they of course I got the next day and I did perform it. It was a grand opening, and so but that's definitely why you have contracts, and it saved me like I would say about 50 times the contract saved you where they wouldn't have paid without a contract. And I haven't been messed around too many times with the contract. And there's been a few times, like not really a whole bunch in 40 years. I'd say 4 or 5 times with a signed contract. There was one group who that's professionally what they did is got people from paying their bills. I don't know what that is. Basically, say, well, we can get you out of paying your bills to these people. So
Yeah.
and so with that said, only like 4 times that I've sent out and with a contract and it didn't happen. So that's really, really a good average in 40
That's a good
years.
number. That's a good number.
Four.
One a year, maybe. One every 10 years.
Yeah,
One
once a
every
10
one
year
every
where they didn't pay.
yeah.
Yeah. And it does happen, but even with contracts, but uh, I'm talking 99.9% with the contract they paid. So get that signed contract. It worked for you the other day. And
I think some people are afraid to like record their calls, or some people are, oh, what do I have to hide? No, no.
well,
You can
if
say
you're running
if
your
you're on a
company
call,
right.
you just say you can't believe the conversations we have on this phone call. It doesn't have to be you, but like, golly, people try anything these days, like,
Yeah, and actually, for you, Scott, it's a good training if you want to train your guys and how people really talk on the phone, or you could put a class together, saying, "Hey,
yeah, I mean, I'd have to go back and analyze how I think and why I say the things I did. I go back up to that conversation in particular. I was probably doing things that like I didn't even realize I was doing. I was just troubleshooting ahead. So I
well,"
was like, what did I say now? Like, well, we're
but
not going into that
that's
contract
called
thing.
experience. That's experience, Scott. After many years, you can sense it. I mean, basically, well, I call it spidey sense. As soon as you start talking to him, you go, "Oh, something's out of place here. I don't know what. I mean, what do you
I've
mean,
heard
man?
this before. We're
I've heard what's well, okay. Who and the way they talk, the tone too, and how
hey
they start.
buddy. Hey, you know you're like family to me. Oh yeah.
Oh, oh, I don't even know your name.
Yeah, we just got on the phone. Like
Yeah, it's like your friend said that you would do this for me.
yeah, yeah. If you got the
Uh,
money, I've got the time. Like
uh, right. Well, you're well, you that friend, he might have promised you something, but I didn't promise you anything. So,
yeah, what's that got to do with
like,
me? Like, seems like we're in a situation here. Like, it's up to you what happens next. Like,
oh, here's another thing. Here's another thing, and what's good for that recording. But there's been a time where they call and they book an entertainer, and I can do almost all the entertainment skills. So I decided to go do it, and they said this is I want a magician to do a show and everything, and I said, well, it's this price, it's not. It says but you could get a ballooner cheaper if you wanted to do that, just balloons. And he says, okay, I'll take that. And then I got to the event. He says, well, your boss, I talked to Jeff,
yeah,
and he said
yeah.
you were going to do a show. And I said, no, he didn't. No, no, really, I did. I talked to Jeff, and he was telling me I could do a show.
You should have been like, call him, and then your phone rings.
That would have been funny. I said, no. I said, I know that's not true. And he says, no, it really is. I said, you know why I know that's true? I said, because I'm Jeff. Oh, well, go do the balloons over there. He was just, but anyway, so I still believe, and I'll go by that is it, it's not worth it not to it's worth it not to do the gig if you can't get the contract, because if they're not willing to say put it, because you're doing it, you're giving them a guarantee that you're going to be there. If they don't want to guarantee back, then it's, to
You know,
me,
the
it's not worth it.
funny
I
thing
mean,
about this whole K-pop thing, they don't even have a Google business listing. That should have been a red flag right there. Took it down. Took it down because of too many reviews, right? Too many, like I shaded this guy or something. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
I got a sales call here in a little bit.
Okay, man. Hey, go get him.